First today course materials Ergo-Safety, Productivity and Competitiveness. Jadi topik hari ini nih ya, Safety, Productivity and Competitiveness. Oke, kita mulai dengan konsep of Ergo-Safety. We start with the concept of Ergo-Safety. Okay, ergonomics. Everybody, I think it's quite familiar with the ergonomics term, right? Okay. Michael. Hi, Michael. Hello, Michael.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, are you familiar with the ergonomics term? Okay. Wait, we need to to know you better. What's your you joined the master, sorry, the master here, right? So what's your bachelor background?
My background is economics.
Economics. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Alpha? What's your background for your bachelor background?
My background, I'm accounting, from accounting.
Accounting. Okay, accounting and economics. So, I don't know. Have you guys heard before ergonomics?
For me, this is new to me.
Okay, it is you. Okay, although I mean the term is slightly slightly same. Ergonomics and economic is just one letter different. Probably the definition is quite distinct. So, if we talk ergonomics, we actually ergonomics came from two words. First is ergo or ergon, mean work, while nomics or nomos means study of. So, simply, actually, ergonomics is the study of work. The definitions can be elaborated more as the ergonomic is the science of interaction between the worker and the job. This is usually how we portray what is ergonomic. So there are some correct posture. They will have a correct posture. They will have incorrect posture. For example, for the one who sitting in a chair, this is the ergonomic posture, while this one is non-ergonomic postures. Or when you're lifting a heavy thing, for example, this a bag, this is the correct posture, the correct or ergonomic way to lift a thing, lift an object. Well, this one is incorrect because it will hurt. It will hurt the ones your back. You will got the back pain here. So ergonomics is the science how to make the interaction between the workers and the job will fit. Here, the science of making the job fit the worker. Okay. We have ergonomics. We also have human-centered design. Ya, teman-teman rasanya yang jelas ya. Rasanya ergonomics cukup familiar ya. Jadi ergonomics ilmu tentang manusia bekerja begitu ya. Interaksi antara ilmu yang mempelajari tentang interaksi manusia dengan pekerjaannya. Tujuannya apa? Supaya pekerjaannya itu bisa fit dengan pekerjanya. Okay, there's another concept that we call it human-centered design. Jadi HCD biasanya, human-centered design. In human-centered design, we have people, we have technology, and what is the goal is the requirement for the success. So there's three ends. There are three parts of this. So here is people, as the user or the worker. Technology is the method, is the tool, and this one, the requirement for success is the goal. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Uh, in human-centered design, we'll put all the element design parameters to adjust the characteristic, advantages, and disadvantages of man. Jadi dalam human centered design ini kita akan membahas tentang semua elemen atau desain parameter untuk menyesuaikan karakteristik baik kelebihan ya maupun kekurangan dari manusia. Oke, manusia dibandingkan mesin punya kelebihan ya. Apa? Kelebihan manusia kreatif, barangkali begitu ya, lebih kreatif gitu. Lebih bisa misalkan tiba-tiba ada interruption ya di sistem itu ada gangguan, manusia bisa lebih menyesuaikan diri. Tapi kalau misalkan apa namanya ada gangguan gitu ya, ada gangguan maka mesin itu sering tidak bisa menyesuaikan diri. Nah, itu jadi itu kelebihan manusia. Manusia lebih fleksibel. Tapi itu juga kekurangannya banyak ya, seringkali ya, terutama kalau terkait masalah fisikal ya. Kemampuan manusia untuk mengangkat barang itu sangat terbatas gitu. Kemampuan manusia untuk mengangkat benda-benda itu sangat terbatas. Yang mesin kita bisa desain mesin yang sangat apa ya canggih gitu ya, mampu mengangkat benda yang sangat berat. Okay, so in human-centered design, the element or design parameter will fit with the both advantages and disadvantages of human characteristic. One of the advantages, for example, the advantages of human is they're more flexible. For example, if your motorcycles run off gasoline, for example, then you will think for the other transportation mode. For example, you can use your bike. But if we talk about the machine, if something happen, for example, there is electricity blackout, the electricity cut, and you got blackout, then machine could not find other way, right? They could not be as flexible. So that's the advantages of human. But human also has some disadvantages. For example, the capacity in lifting. For example, human only maybe can lift for up to 20 kilograms, but machine can up to 2,000 kilograms. So can be designed up to lift 2,000 kilograms. So that's disadvantages. So what is the good design? Sorry, the slide is still in Indonesia. So the good design, it should be effective, nyaman, aman, sehat, and efficient. So effective, comfortable, safe, healthy, and efficient. So a good design should has these 5 characteristics. Why it's important? Because it supports two things. First, it supports the productivity, and the second is quality of work life. Yeah. So the E1, E2 here is effective and efficient, is the productivity criteria, while the nyaman, aman, and sehat, nyaman, aman, and sehat, which is comfortable, safe, and health, is the quality of the work life. So ergonomic approach work on this okay, work on this field. Okay, so what's the benefit if we doing the ergonomic evaluation or intervention? You can see this graph. The blue one here, the blue one here is for the okay, the blue one here is the after we do some intervention, well, the green one is the ones that if we don't use ergonomic intervention. Before we do some ergonomic intervention, the endurance here is T1 and T2 is about the endurance. T1 is the endurance people in doing their work. You can see here, just for a short of time, the productivity of the worker starting to reduce. While if we're doing some ergonomic interventions, besides that the productivity and comfort will also increase, the endurance also will be better. The time for them to work, the endurance, we can say is their endurance in doing their job is also longer. Okay, so human error here, stress and human error will become lower, while productivity and comfort become higher. Okay, now we talk about the philosophy of the ergonomics. So the philosophy of the ergonomics is these items. First, fit the task to the person, quality of the working life, productivity, safe and hygienic workplace, minimize physiological and psychological stresses. This is the philosophy of ergonomics. Okay, before I continue with the next slide, anything I want to discuss first? Is there anything is not which is not clear? Okay. Okay, then if everything okay, I will continue. If everything clear, then I'll continue. Okay. So now we continue with the occupational safety and health. So what is occupational safety and health? Occupational safety and health ensures that work environments are safe and healthy. So this is the principles of the occupational safety and health. It takes into consideration physical, psychological, biological, chemical, and ergonomics risks. For example, workers in construction site are required to do necessary safety gear and equipment before commencing work. Okay, so what's safety then? Safety is the prevention of accidents, as a simple. So the complete definition is the prevention of accident to avoid injury to people or human or damage to the working facilities, machinery, equipment, and etc. While health is the prevention of disease, illness, or severe discomfort. Ya, jadi kalau safety itu kuncinya adalah kalau kita bicara safety, itu kita bicara tentang bagaimana sih kita mencegah adanya accident. While kalau kesehatan, health gitu ya, itu lebih ke prevention dari disease, illness, illness, dan severe discomfort. Oke, nah jadi kalau safety itu short term ya dampaknya. Kalau terjadi sebuah kejadian begitu ya, dampaknya bisa langsung kita tahu. Tapi kalau health biasanya takes longer time gitu, butuh jangka panjang begitu. Okay, sorry, this slide is still also in Indonesia. Nah, kalau di Indonesia, keselamatan dan kesehatan kerja itu juga tidak saja tadi di awal waktu saya definisi dari safety gitu ya. Jadi keselamatan dan kesehatan kerja itu sudah masuk ke dalam peraturan. Peraturan Undang-Undang Nomor 1 Tahun 70 tentang keselamatan kerja itu mengatur tentang bagaimana K3 di tempat kerja. So about occupational health and safety in Indonesia, there is regulations already. The government already set the regulation. Okay, and then why the safety is important? It's important for both sides, for employees and also for the companies. This is some of the benefit or of the safety or the importance of safety for the employees, while this one is the importance of the safety for the company point of view. For the employees, for example, by taking care, by seriously pay attention to the safety issues, it can prevent injury or physical disability. Preventing loss of revenue or income of the worker, because if, for example, if a worker got accident and then it's quite serious, and then they could not work anymore in that company because of they got some disability, for example, cripple or anything, they can lose their revenue. Jadi contohnya kalau misalkan orang kecelakaan begitu ya, kecelakaan terus habis gitu sampai cacat begitu, dia mungkin tidak bisa lagi bekerja dan akhirnya dia kehilangan nafkahnya. Okay, and other things. For the companies, it's prevent waste materials, ya. Jadi mengurangi waste gitu, pemborosan. If we talk about waste, it's not only about the leftover of the production system, the production process, but also about time. Yeah, you guys maybe remember, you guys also familiar with the 7 ways in lean management system. So time, it can be if we have excessive time in handling some accidents, then it's kind of waste for the company. Ya, contoh misalkan kalau ada kecelakaan, most of the time pada banyak hal itu the production system will be stopped, right? Usually, particularly for the in the area in the working station where the accident took place. Jadi di tempat di mana terjadinya kecelakaan itu seringkali akhirnya kalau terjadi kecelakaan kan berhenti proses kerjanya. Nah akhirnya kan ada pemborosan waktu. Sehingga kalau kita menjaga supaya kecelakaan itu tidak terjadi, gitu, prevent the accident to happen. Nah ini juga akan mengurangi waste dalam hal ini waktu, gitu ya, berupa waktu. And the other one is maintain the reputation or image of the company. Perusahaan-perusahaan yang memiliki reputasi atau image yang bagus sebagai perusahaan yang aman gitu ya. Nah itu juga akan reputasinya bagus gitu ya. Kalau misalkan dia butuh tambahan investasi gitu ya, tambahan investasi, dia jual saham gitu, banyak orang yang mau untuk berinvestasi di perusahaan dia dibanding dengan perusahaan yang memiliki track record safety yang jelek gitu. Okay, if we talk about the company reputation, for example, a company they successfully maintain the zero accident during their operation, they will be easier to get more investment for their company in comparison with the ones that well known, the company that's well known with the, a lot of accident cases happen in that company. They usually the investor will think twice before they invest in that kind of company. So the reputation, the company reputation or image is important. Okay, so sorry, still Indonesia also for this slide. Jadi we talk about preventive approach. So in safety, there's a preventive approach. Preventive approach is much better than how to say it's like curative, you can say, like before the accident took place, we need to prevent it. So we do some safety programs. We conduct some safety program uh, before the accident took place. Okay, what kind of the preventive approach that we can use or we can be implemented in our company? We can use, for example, like this: the analisa dampak lingkungan dan kesehatan kerja, is environmental evaluation analysis, and then choose the effective and efficient technology. The location of the industry also need to be considered. Design, layout, and also the how we manage all the materials for our production system, and also how we implement the regulation in our company. That's all is important issues in preventive approach. Okay. Now, why actually we need to do accident prevention? Why accident prevention is important? At least there are three reasons. First is for humanitarian reasons. So we don't want anybody to suffer, right? Suffering for individual, families concerned, the possibility of loss of physical ability and mental load, and it can quit his job. And then for economic reasons, because the cost of the damage insurance premium can be pretty high. So by reducing the number of accidents will prevent the company with the economic loss. And then the legal reasons, because there are regulations. There are regulations that uh, in the regulations, the government need to make sure that the company they can guarantee that the workers that work in the company can work safely. Ya, jadi untuk alasan kenapa accident prevention itu penting itu karena ada alasan kemanusiaan ya, alasan kemanusiaan kita nggak mau ada orang yang celaka kan ya, karena kalau celaka itu dampaknya bisa bisa berat gitu ya, karena bisa di aspek individual, ada family concern dan seterusnya. Karena economic reason, kemudian ada untuk economic reason ini biasanya kalau terjadi kecelakaan kan pasti ada biaya yang harus dikeluarkan ya, memberikan santunan dan segala macam. Kalau tidak ada kecelakaan kan tidak harus memberikan santunan. Jadi dalam hal ini itu ada penghematan bagi perusahaan. Kemudian ada legal reason karena memang ada peraturan ya yang menjamin bahwa sebuah perusahaan itu harus melindungi para karyawannya dari bahaya-bahaya yang menyebabkan kecelakaan. Apabila perusahaan dinilai lalai, begitu ya, dinilai lalai dalam melakukan penjaminan ini, maka bisa dimasukkan ke kriminal. Oke, bagaimana cara kita melakukan accident prevention? How we do the accident preventions? The goal of the accident prevention actually zero accidents, right? Jadi goal utamanya pasti kita ingin nggak ada kecelakaan sama sekali. So in this case, we need to involve the management. We need to consider the people consciousness and behavior, and we need to have a good or machine. Nah, ini adalah three of them are the important component of the prevention. Jadi manajemen, kemudian mesinnya juga, dan orangnya. Jadi tiga komponen ini harus saling terkait satu sama lain gitu ya untuk menyebabkan sehingga kita bisa mendapatkan zero accidents. Misalkan mesinnya itu sudah safe gitu, mesinnya sudah bagus kualitasnya gitu ya. Kemudian orang-orangnya juga udah sadar tentang ya kalau nggak menjaga safety itu bahaya gitu. Kalau saya nggak hati-hati, kalau saya nggak pakai APD itu nggak kalau nggak pakai APD nanti saya bisa celaka. Orang sudah consider gitu, sudah consciousness gitu, udah sadar. Tapi ternyata manajemennya nggak aware gitu. Misalkan mereka nggak support gitu, mereka nggak membelikan APD yang cukup untuk semua karyawannya. Ya akhirnya program preventionnya tidak efektif, zero accident kita nggak bisa dapat. Okay, so for these three elements, management, machine, and people in the company need to work together. If one of them are not effectively support the prevention, then the prevention of the accident, then it wouldn't be as effective. Okay, so for example, the management understand the benefit of the safety for the workers, but and people also understand that they need to work safely, but they don't have a good machine. The machine are pretty old. They have, they can explode anytime, for example, because it's too old. So there is some, in that case, then the accidents still highly, the accident can be happen anytime. There's a high probability that the accident will happen someday in the future. Jadi seperti itu ya. Jadi harus ada tiga-tiganya. Oke. Sampai slide sebelum ini tadi kita berbicara tentang konsep dari accident prevention, safety, dan keterkaitannya dengan ergonomi. Makanya kenapa nama kuliah gitu ya, ada nama kuliahnya namanya Ergo-Safety gitu, karena antara safety dengan ergonomi is kind of, we can say it's like two side of a coin, dua sisi mata uang. It's actually like the same thing, but it's in different point of view. Oke, ada yang ingin ditanyakan sebelum saya lanjutkan? Belum ya?
Yes, I want to ask.
Yes, please.
This concept, is it only focus on the employees and the company, and not including the environment? People are not employees of the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you mean where the environmental aspect regarded in this model? I mean, how we regard in safety in general?
Yeah, in this concept of OHS.
Okay, so environment actually can, the whole system could not be separated from the environment, right? So, for example, when management management, they want to do some, they have some policy, or they need to run a certain program. They need to consider the environmental aspect that related with their program or their policy. So, of course, although it's not it's not mentioned specifically, every environmental aspect is considered are considered in preventing accident to happen, to prevent the accident to happen. For example, sorry, I believe okay, maybe it's better if it's in English, but here di Indonesia is analisa dampak lingkungan dan kesehatan kerja pada saat desain dan instalasi mesin fasilitas produksi di tempat kerja. It means that if we conduct the environmental consequences, and occupational health and safety when we designing the machine and production facility, it could be considered as the preventive actions for the accident to happen in the company during during the operational stage. So, for example, somebody want to set a company. They want to build a factory. Then, first of all, they need to do the environmental analysis first, right? They need to evaluate whether when they set the company in the certain they set the factory in the certain area, is it how they manage their waste, how the how the how the workers can still be healthy after work for a longer time period in during their work time in that company. So they need to do some analysis, because they need to maintain the air circulation, whether they have a good air circulations and so on. So environmental aspect is one of the you can say is also the most important aspect in the in occupational health and safety. Yeah, hopefully I can answer you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yes, and then we continue with the occupational health and safety throughout history. Jadi kita membahas tentang sejarah occupational health and safety ya. Okay. And we talk about occupational health and safety. Sebenarnya it's not a new thing. So if you talk about occupational health safety, it's not a new thing. So starting from the Babylon's King Hammurabi Code of Law, they already mentioned about the occupational health and safety. Here, the significance of the code from the perspective of the occupational health and safety is it contains clauses dealing with injuries, allowable fees for physicians, and monetary damages assessed against those who are injuries others. So they already how to say, this is very ancient. Walaupun ini sudah sangat kuno banget gitu ya, Babylonia. Barangkali teman-teman belajar sejarah sejarah peradaban kuno ya. Nah ini apa namanya, mereka sudah ada gitu di sejarah ini tentang jaminan kesehatan dan keselamatan kerja. Jadi peraturan perundang-undangan tentang K3 itu sudah ada sejak zaman Babylonia. Nah, di salah satu ini di kode Code of Laws ini, itu disebutkan tentang bagaimana gitu ya kita mengkompensasi orang yang mencelakai orang lain. Nah, jadi ada peraturannya gitu, sudah ada peraturannya. If a man has caused the loss of a gentleman eye, his own eye shall be caused to be lost. Jadi kalau satu orang itu menyebabkan kehilangan mata orang lain, maka matanya dia itu harus juga hilang. Sampai sekejam itu ya, bukan sekejam, seserius itu gitu ya hukumannya. Okay, next in Egypt. So in Egypt civilizations, to ensure the maintenance of workforce sufficient to build the huge temple bearing his name, the Ramesses II, the pyramids, the pharaoh, the Ramesses II created an industrial medical service to care for the workers. Jadi pada saat pembangunan piramid ini ya, Ramesses II, Firaun yang namanya Ramesses II ini, Ramesses II ini membuat semacam klinik gitu ya, klinik kesehatan medical service untuk merawat para pekerjanya. Oh, and then they have some regulation. They were required to bathe daily in the Nile and were given regular medical examinations. 6 workers were isolated. So the principles of occupational health and safety that we know nowadays, for example, for COVID-19 preventions, about the self-isolation, social distancing is already implemented in that time. Ya, jadi apa budak ya, sebenarnya pekerjanya dulu tuh namanya budak ya, kalau nggak bekerja kayak kita gini ya, pekerja budaknya disuruh mandi di Sungai Nil gitu ya, di Sungai Nil, dan kemudian juga kalau ada yang sakit dicek tadi ya di medical service, kemudian juga kalau ada yang sakit itu dipisahkan gitu ya dari teman-temannya supaya tidak menulari, sama seperti kita ya social distancing saat ini. Okay, ancient Rome also implement occupational health and safety principles. They vitally concerned with safety and health, as can be seen in the remains of their construction project. Their construction project, they have the remain shows that they really pay attention on safety and health. For example, they build aqueduct, sewage system, and public baths, latrines, and well-ventilated houses. It shows that ancient Rome really understand how to design a healthy environment for works and for the house. Okay. In 1567, a person named Philippus Aurelius, or people call them Paracelsus, produced a treatise on the pulmonary disease of miners. Jadi nulis buku ya, ini namanya Philippus Aurelius itu menulis buku paper lah ya kalau kita ya, namanya jurnal gitu, nulis jurnal gitu ya. Tentang ini penyakit-penyakit paru-paru di miners. Miners itu tambang, kerja tambang. Okay. The title of the book is On the Miners' Sickness and Other Miners' Disease. So the book became like a reference in that time for assessing, for to evaluate the what kind of pulmonary diseases can the pulmonary diseases among the miners. Okay, another expert around the same time with the Paracelsus, named Georgius Agricola. I should be read it because in Italy, right? So it's not in English. So Georgius Agricola published his treatise also. The title is De Re Metallica. Interesting part when I prepared this slide, I can still access the Google book of this De Re Metallica. It's already translated here. So if you guys interesting, there are several page free previewed in books in Google Books. So what is the content of the books, for example? If you guys curious, you can check it in Google Books. So this book emphasizing the need for ventilation in mines. So the case study is still in mines. You can, I mean, in that time, the mining industry quite, booming, right? And illustrating various devices that could be used to introduce fresh air into mines. How they design the mm, ventilations, fresh air into the mines. Because usually the mines in that time is like closed pit, right? The ones that you need to dig into the dig the mine in below the surface, the land surface. I mean. Okay, another expert is Ramazzini, wrote the Morbis Artificum Diatriba, 1970, or after the translation is the disease of workers. Here, Mr. Ramazzini wrote a in the book. He wrote a comprehensive work on occupational diseases, outlining the health hazard of irritating chemical, dust, metal, and other abrasive agents encountered by workers in 52 occupations. So, for this book is not for the miners only, but all the 52 occupations. And also, it mentioned about the irregular or natural movement of the body, ergonomics. So they already discussed about ergonomics here. Okay, industrial revolution. As we know, the first industrial and the second industrial revolutions, steam power increased market the potential life-threatening injuries. So because the workers, the steam power replaced the human how to say, it's like a physical workload, so they can reduce the life-threatening injuries, and then uh, but also but also introduce new risk of injury. For example, like these ladies, they sit for longer time period, then they can get some other back pain, some back injuries. And then specializations, by increasing likelihood of boredom and inactiveness. So, because in industrial revolutions, one of for the second industrial revolution, there is specialization. So, every work every worker only need to do a certain specific job. So because they need to do it repetitively, then they become bored, right? So it's burden and repetitiveness, also more dangerous environment. Jadi industrial revolusi baik pertama maupun kedua itu juga memang ada dampak positifnya, namun juga ada dampak negatifnya. Untuk dampak positifnya adanya steam power, adanya tenaga uap ya, tenaga uap itu bisa mengurangi kebutuhan tenaga manusia untuk mengangkat secara manual. Jadi life threatening injuries, kecelakaan kerja yang menyebabkan ancaman gitu ya, ancaman terhadap nyawa manusia itu bisa dikurangi. Tapi juga dampak negatifnya karena juga injurinya gitu ya, bisa muncul juga gitu. Misalkan ini duduk-duduk di sini aja itu bisa sakit punggung ya lama-lama. Dan bisa karena ada spesialisasi gitu, tiap orang hanya mengerjakan satu pekerjaan tertentu, akhirnya akan mengerjakan hal yang repetisi. Nah, karena mengerjakan pekerjaan yang repetisi, akhirnya orang akan cepat bosan dan kurang perhatian. Nah, itu yang bahaya. Tidak hanya bosan, tapi kurang perhatian. Nah, kalau kurang perhatian, itu bisa bahaya karena bisa terjadi kecelakaan. Okay, there are a lot of, not a lot, I mean some of big tragedies on safety. It's also stimulating people to pay more attention on work safety in a company. Ya, jadi ini ada beberapa tragedi gitu ya istilahnya di safety cukup besar gitu ya. Nah ini yang membuat orang itu jadi semakin aware tentang safety. Misalkan for example, Harkness tragedy is 1930s and Armley asbestos disaster 1960s, and maybe the latest one 2012 factory fire in Bangladesh. Okay. And then we continue with the occupational health and safety, the relationship between occupational health and safety and competitiveness. Before I continue, anything want to discuss?
Yes, I just want to contribute to the previous slide.
Mm,
The
okay.
previous,
Wait,
yeah.
like this.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Yes,
I
Alpha.
think I think one recent tragedy also that happened in relation to occupational safety
Mm-hmm.
is the explosion that took place in Lebanon. That warehouse,
Right, right.
yeah, that
Yeah,
warehouse that happened. I think that also is a major tragedy that took place in relation to occupational safety, because actually there was warning from some people that that thing is dangerous because
mm,
they've stored that particular chemical in
mm.
that warehouse for a very long time.
Okay. Yes.
That chemical is used to make bombs, it's used to make weapons.
Mm,
So because of excess storage, now the thing exploded and affected so many things. I think
right.
that one also is a recent case.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Alpha, for remind us about the latest tragedy that took place in Lebanon, right? Yes. There's a chemical company, right? Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
chemical company. Yes. Thank you. That's definitely a biggest one because how many do you know how many people die because of the accident?
Actually, they were saying it's below 200 people, but
Hmm.
so many people being, we are not be able to, they were not able to recover so many people because most of the people were stuck underground
Right.
where the buildings got destroyed. So many people were under, they were not able to see them like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Ya, teman-teman bisa ngikuti ya. Tadi yang disampaikan oleh Alfa itu satu kecelakaan yang di Lebanon baru-baru ini. Jadi itu ada pabrik chemical, dia tempatnya di pinggir laut gitu ya. Nah itu meledak tuh. Itu 2020 baru beberapa bulan yang lalu, sebulan barangkali ya, sebulan yang lalu. Itu juga besar sekali. Nah itu people learn gitu ya dari kejadian-kejadian itu people learn how important safety is. Okay, I continue with occupational health safety and competitiveness. Oh, there is some. Okay, so this is a graph showing about the competitiveness versus the death rate. Well, I'm not sure what year it is of the data is it, but at least we can learn here. The blue square is the competitiveness level. The is measured by competitiveness index, while the death here, the fatal accident of every 100,000 workers is here. And for the x axis is the country. So is that from Finland? We can see here Finland has the competitiveness index 6, while the death rate, the fatal accident is is around 4, right? For accident every 100,000 workers. Here, USA, Sweden, and so on. We can see here there is how to say certain pattern we can say, right? There is certain pattern that we can see here. So as a country has increasing competitiveness in the number of fatal accidents tend to be lower, right? So competitiveness index getting higher than the fatal accident getting lower. and vice versa, of course. So the fatal accident getting higher, then the competitiveness index become lower. So this is the data collected by the International Labor Organizations, World Economic Forum. Okay, so there's this show that there is a significant relationship between the competitiveness and safety. Competitiveness, of course, here is competitiveness of a country in general. Okay, so before we discuss further about this, we need to revisit the definition of the competitiveness. What is competitiveness? The Institute of the Corporate Competitiveness defined competitiveness as the ability to consistently succeed and prosper in the marketplace, whether it is local, regional, national, or global. So the key word here is uh, consistently succeed and prosper in marketplace. So whether you're able to sell your product, actually, we call it competitiveness. The most competitive company are those that do following: consistently outperform their competitors in their key area on quality, productivity, response time, service, cost, and corporate image. So basically, if we compare two companies one to another, the more competitive one, at least they will have superiority on quality or productivity or response time or service or cost or corporate image. At least they have one of them. Or if they have more than one, for example, they have good quality and response time, then they're even better. I mean, they're more superior in terms of competitive advantage. Jadi competitiveness itu kalau bahasa Indonesia daya saing ya. Competitiveness itu kalau bahasa Indonesia daya saing. Jadi daya saing itu apa sih gitu ya? Daya saing itu pada dasarnya kemampuan perusahaan itu untuk ngejual barangnya, untuk bisa bersaing di marketplace gitu. Jadi kalau kita bicara daya saing itu kita pasti mau nggak mau harus membandingkan perusahaan ini dengan perusahaan yang lain. Gitu. Nah, kalau kita bicara perusahaan yang punya daya saing tinggi itu yang kayak apa gitu. Nah, perusahaan yang memiliki daya saing tinggi itu biasanya dia setidaknya memiliki kelebihan di quality, productivity, response time, service, cost, dan corporate image. Salah satu aja di antaranya itu sudah bisa memiliki daya saing tinggi. Apalagi kalau punya lebih dari satu. Oh, sorry. Nah, so how safety can help to improve the competitiveness of a company? By fact, when the pressure of competing become intense, it is not uncommon for safety health to be given lower priority. Sadly to say, we can say so. Sadly to say, if the pressure of competing become intense, for example, they need to serve the product faster, then usually they safety and health to be given a lower priority. Jadi seringkali seperti itu memang jeleknya ya. Kalau kompetisinya lagi intensif begitu ya. Ada kecenderungan orang itu untuk tidak memperhatikan faktor safety. Misalkan ya, kalau misalkan ingin memenuhi target produksi gitu ya, karena dia harus bersaing dengan perusahaan lain yang bisa memiliki target produksi yang lumayan tinggi, maka biasanya kesehatan pekerjanya itu jadinya dikalahkan. Nah, biasanya orang disuruh kerja lama gitu, lebih dari 8 jam, seperti itu aja contohnya. Nah, this is not only this is wrong from ethical standpoint, but also wrong from the perspective of competitiveness and profitability. Jadi ini nggak hanya dari sisi etis sebenarnya salah gitu ya, tapi juga ini dalam perspektif competitiveness dan profitability itu juga kontraproduktif gitu. Okay. Why? Because basically is competitiveness as a sum as quality, as a sum of quality, productivity, response time, service, cost, and corporate image, right? the ones that we have mentioned before. So every aspect here actually is closely related with the occupational health and safety. For examples, in productivity and cost here, productivity and cost here. Companies with a reputation for providing a safe and healthy workplace will find it easier to attract and keep the best people, right? So, I mean, because the workplace are safe and healthy, so their worker they can keep the best people work for them for a long time. Nobody is got accident, right? And also, company with record of safe and healthy practices will be better able to reinvest in equipment upgrades, and those who must divert fund into non-such productive costs, such as medical claim, environmental cleanup, and safety, there will be loss, right, and health-related litigation. So, in the term of cost, being a safety, I mean, pay attention to safety, it's actually saving more money. Jelas ya. Jadi di productivity dan cost, kalau reputasi perusahaannya bagus gitu dalam menjaga kesehatan dan keselamatan kerja, orang akan mau kerja bersama mereka dalam jangka waktu yang panjang. Selain itu juga orang karena sehat ya, jadi mereka bisa bekerja dalam jangka waktu lama ya, nggak harus pensiun dini misalkan seperti itu. Nah, kemudian kalau perusahaan itu maintain safe and healthy environment gitu, safe and healthy practices di operasional perusahaannya, maka 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 mereka bisa menggunakan uangnya untuk reinvest the equipment upgrade gitu ya, daripada dipakai untuk membayar asuransi, dipakai untuk mengobatkan karyawannya, uangnya bisa dipakai untuk hal-hal lain yang lebih. Oke, quality. Quality is essential for competitiveness. Fortunately, gitu, untungnya, those practices that enhance quality tend to enhance safety and health. Jadi, untungnya di sini ya disebutkan bahwa praktek-praktek untuk meningkatkan kualitas itu biasanya juga praktek untuk meningkatkan safety and health. Misalkan kalau kita apa namanya ya mempertimbangkan occupational health and safety, misalkan beban kerja dari pekerja begitu ya. Nah, kalau misalkan kita menjaga occupational health and safety-nya occupational health and safety-nya pekerja dengan baik, maka mereka akan bekerja dengan lebih konsentrasi. Okay, quality requires strict adherence to established production practice, attention to detail, and commitment to do things right way. So, do safety and health ensure require strict adherence. Jadi, apa ya, kalau misalkan kita minta pegawai itu sangat hati-hati mengerjakan tugasnya gitu, mengerjakan pekerjaannya, mereka nggak akan bisa konsentrasi full gitu ya kalau mereka tuh terlalu khawatir kalau dia itu celaka gitu, tempat kerjanya itu nggak safe. Nah itu makanya quality itu erat kaitannya dengan safety and health. Respon time hampir sama ya. Productivity meningkat, orang nggak terlalu khawatir dengan pekerjaannya gitu ya, orang nggak terlalu khawatir tentang kesehatannya dia, keselamatannya dia selama bekerja, dia akan bisa bekerja lebih cepat. So response time is like productivity, that is function of people, technology, and management strategy. Therefore, the same argument that's applied to productivity apply to response time. Service is important ingredient in competitiveness. With industrial companies, service typically means in field or after delivery service. Okay. Image. Nah, ini kita sudah bahas. We already discussed about this. So, if a company has a good image in maintaining their occupational health and safety in their company, or they have zero accident throughout history of the company, then everybody will happy. A lot of people want to invest to them. A lot of talented people want to work on that company. So the competitiveness of the company, of course, become better and better. Okay.